Scorpion and Tremor, otherwise known as Rock Daddy, but that's not important, became a hot topic of debate on MK Javier's Twitter last week, the best Scorpion player on the planet right now. It all started with MK Javier talking about Sonya Blade kind of being a letdown for Scorpion, at least at a high level, and this prompted another player to say should have tried Tremor, his best cameo. Javier replied that Tremor is not. Stop replied that Tremor offers way more options and damage than Janet and Chameleon, and Javier just replied doubting that statement. This is where things start to go a little off the rails for the story. Stop comes back to the thread and says, I've labbed both, but I guess Tremor is too complex for you. Sounds like you have zero clue what he can do, which is a little feisty considering Javier hadn't called Tremor bad, just stated that Chameleon might have more options. Javier followed that one up with, I know what he can do, but more damage than Chameleon? I doubt it. Also, Chameleon has more mind games. Stop replies, false. Chameleon more mind games? Nothing can be further from the truth. Javier thinks Chameleon is better, and Stop thinks Tremor is better for Scorpion. But I decided to throw my hat in the ring. I said, haven't played him in a while, but there is a Scorpion player that's like top 50 in the ranked leaderboards that uses Tremor. I gotta hit him back up to teach me because he said he would. I see the vision. Javier replied to me, I don't think Tremor is better than Chameleon for Scorpion. All the things that Chameleon offers you is just too many things. And Stop replied to me saying, it's all real too. So many options and so much damage. Javier responded with, can be good in casuals, but not in high level tournament. And this is when the thread is kind of blowing up at this point. Everybody is seeing us talk about this. Stop replies to Javier, just say you don't know how to use Tremor. I get he's not easy to use, but that won't make him bad. And Javier does reply with a good point saying, tell me one Scorpion Tremor that's doing good in tournaments. And here's where we get aggressive. Stop comes out the gates and just says, LMAO, that's a cooked mindset. If you want tech handed to you, just say that. And I think that pushed Javier into capping a little bit too, because Javier replied, tech about that weak team, I don't want it. But if you are here saying that team is good, but there's nobody who's doing good with it, then don't make sense, ha ha ha. And I kind of understand where Javier's coming with this one, because this guy has kind of been in his replies saying that EU Scorpion players suck, and that Javier kind of sucks because he doesn't know how to play Tremor, so at one point or another you're gonna get a little more absolute. You're gonna overstate how bad Tremor actually is. So I'm getting tagged in all these, so I came back and said this argument doesn't really make sense. Sonic Fox won the very first MK1 tournament using Rain. If Sonic had used Raiden the entire time, Rain would be considered a bad character by you because nobody else picked Rain? It's a slept-on team that Scorpions have never truly labbed. I followed that up with not played and not good are not the same thing. On paper, Tremor is a better cameo than Chameleon TBH. He just takes more time to fully understand because he's complex, and you can't autopilot for a single second like you can with Chameleon. Javier replied to me that I have tried Scorpion Tremor and I don't see nothing good except the plus 100 HP or using Tremor as a wall for projectiles. You cannot say a team is good until you really try it in a tournament and see how it goes. So I'd like to see you or any Scorpion Tremor main in a tournament. And so I just decided to wrap up what I was saying and said, alright man, if that's what you think the character is, you just haven't put any time into it outside of the week Tremor released. You didn't list one thing about the actual tech, that's not how he's played. And Javier ends up replying, then go to a tournament and show me how he is played. I really want to see it or show that tech. And that's what I'm about to do today. Remember when I said earlier in the thread that I knew like the best Scorpion Tremor player in the world? His name is Car3030 Please. These are his current leaderboard positions, but when I ran into him for the very first time, he was in the top 100. Like, I have messages with him going as far back as December 13th of 2023. And he was telling me all the way back then that I need to be looking into Scorpion Tremor. I just never really picked it up. In January, he told me that he hit Elder God on his main account with Scorpion Tremor, so this is the rankings on his second account. And you probably noticed in those messages, he was sending me tons of tech about Scorpion Tremor, but I wanted things to be practical. So every day I got on seeing if Car3030 Please was online to play me, because I wanted to run a first to 5 without letting him know this is what I was doing, because if he knew I was doing this, he would try tech that he probably wouldn't use in a sweaty set. From what I could tell, he didn't have a warm-up before this first to 5, and I didn't either, and he still goes crazy. This is some of the most practical, cool Tremor tech you will ever see see. And how we're gonna do this video is after every single match, I'm gonna go back and talk about the tech that he uses with Scorpion Tremor and explain why it's so good, why it's great, the ups and downside. Then after the first to 5 section of this video, I'll go into training mode and show you some of the tech that is really strong, but he didn't use in our first to 5. So it's probably not quite as practical. Just to get the obvious thing out of the way before the set starts, 1100 health versus 950 HP is crazy in the Scorpion mirror match. I know it's Reptile, but Scorpion would have the same health. If he lands the first hit on me and just goes into a basic combo like this, look at this. The health difference is absurd. He has over a 50% life lead on me off rip. And so not only am I down 50% health after the first touch, as that combo ends, I am now in the blender of Tremor tech and setups. And the second basic thing is that you can never really tell which option he's going to choose. Whether you're going against Tremor or Chameleon, you need to be watching the opponent's cameo gauge. For Chameleon, it's to see what phase she's in at that moment and to see if the opponent has any cameo bar left. But that phase is predictable, so when I look up at it, I know what's coming next and I can be prepared for it. Whereas if your opponent's using Tremor, it's really important to look because the opponent needs full cameo gauge to do the cancels. Like, if I go like this and special cancel it, that costs the entire cameo gauge. But you don't get the same luxury of knowing what's coming next because Tremor can actually be canceled to either form. If I'm in Crystalline and I just hit the cameo button, I get Aftershock. But if I hit down a cameo button, I'm going to get Metallic. So the only thing you can really be certain of is that the Tremor player isn't going to be ambush cameo canceling into anything dealing with Crystalline, but Metallic and Aftershock are fair game. And if you've played the characters, that's a lot of different moves that you're guessing between. That's just Aftershock, and he has another move other than that. So that's definitely a benefit to Tremor. Now let's get into the first to 5. Hit the subscribe button down below. I know about half of you guys aren't subbed, and Takeda is right around the corner. I'm bringing that man into Road to Rank 1.
Round 1, fight. Round 2, fight. Final round. Fight!
This was the first thing he did in the set that really showed how Tremor has a ton of plus frames. That projectile hits low and will launch for a full combo, but it's also keeping him safe. He is now +4 on blocks, so it is his turn, and I forgot that. When this happened right here, it really shows the true power of Tremor's extra health. I got 2 separate resets in this whole interaction that we just had, and he still has so much health left. It's like it barely made a dent compared to other cameos Scorpion could use that would have been devastating to get hit by. Next up, Tremor has a great mind game, because if he has the full Tremor cameo gauge, he can do stuff like this all match. I didn't punish that highly negative move of Scorpion's, and he didn't actually use it, because if he did use it and I tried to punish, I would have had to use my breaker and waste all 3 bars, or would have just lost the round, because he can do enough damage off of that. This is just the standard reset that you'll see Scorpion Tremors do all the time. You've probably seen it before if you've ever gone against a Scorpion Tremor, because it's usually what you learn first, but it gets way more in depth than this. I just ended up getting hit by everything because, yeah, I choked. This part I just wanted to highlight that this is incredibly cool Scorpion tech. He just did a 41% combo, ended it in an air teleport cancel, and jailed me with the jump 2, which I was not ready for. I could try and lie and say that I was guessing grab off the jail, but no, he used a high attack. I don't know why, it just shook my brain. Yeah, that's insane. He just gets instant pressure after over 40% damage. Oh, you know, we already talked about the plus frames on everything. That move he just hit me with is plus, but it also hits mid. So in an attempt to duck it, thinking it should reasonably be a high if it's an ambush keeping him safe, no, I got hit by it. But if I did end up blocking it, it would still be his turn, because it is +4 as well when he does that.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Kill you.
Final round. Fight. Finish him.
Now in this clip, I just wanted to show that Scorpion Tremor is all about spacing. Notice how he puts on that armor after a stand 4. He's basically asking me to spend bar there because I can't wake up fast enough to do anything about it. Like, I could armored wake up and that's about it. I don't think spear is hitting there either because of the spacing provided in that combo. So he gets 32% and now has Tremor armor. This one right here will throw you for a loop because he can kind of change the spacing at will based on what move he ends the string with and then cancels into the up punch. And not only is it safe, it adds enough pushback that when I tried to use my fastest comboable button, which is stand 1, it's 7 frames, he spaces me out enough that even if that was punishable, there's no way I'm hitting him. It just creates enough space that he can do whatever he wants. And if I didn't block there, I'm getting full comboed, so I can't rush it or anything like that. So in this clip, not only can you keep special moves safe, we've already been seeing that. He kept teleport safe, but do you notice the backdash he does right there? That's important because that's actually a mind game. That backdash is there because a lot of people will throw out a mid, and he is backdashing with the extra block stun that the uppercut provides, so that if I threw out a mid after this, he would whiff punish that with stand 2. He would create too much space. So how I would have to answer that is armor, which is why that's important because he's mind gaming me in this whole thing. He wants me to either use armor or not use armor. Right here didn't work out for him, but this is just showing off the plus frames of this move, but it's not just the plus frames he's going for. He's expecting me to panic a little bit here because we're both low on health, and also he has fatal blow and I don't. I also don't have any way to combo off armor here, so even if I spent my only bar of meter to armor through it, it wouldn't finish him and he'd still be at advantage with a bar himself. But luckily I held strong and I didn't hit any buttons, so I ended up punishing that. He just went for it all because earlier I probably would have hit buttons.
1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Okay, this clip shows off what I was talking about earlier. Earlier he backdashed there, but this time he wants me to armor out of that because the previous time I didn't get anything. So he's kind of hoping this time I'm frustrated by that and I call armor, which is why he stays close, like hoping I'm just trying to get my wake up armor off, and he would have blocked that for a full combo punish.
Fight. Round 2. Fight. Finish him.
Oh yeah, you thought Tremor was done. Not even close. This one gave him kind of that Kano cameo off-screen tech. And like I said before we got into the set, I don't know exactly which move he's going to choose to pick. So because I can't see Tremor for more than like a frame doing any of that, and I can't see him actively throwing, I'd have to really listen for the sound cue. That one works on me. And the worst part is I wasn't even hitting buttons. He just gets an overhead on that one versus the low on the other rock toss. So it's a 50-50.
Round 2. Fight.
He goes for it right here and doesn't do a jump kick or anything, and that's actually where me getting hit by all of them actually went to my benefit. I finally blocked the reset, and he wanted to get the max damage possible by going for a forward 3 there, but I didn't get hit, even though I had gotten hit by like every single other reset previously. This part of the set highlights why watching the cameo gauge is so important. He tried to just default to showing the Tremor come out to try and scare me out of pressing buttons, which I'm not gonna lie, is probably a great tactic against like 95% of players, especially a casual player. A casual player is gonna be scared after being hit there a whole bunch of times and probably just let that one go. But I looked at his cameo gauge and knew he could do nothing, so I took my punish. But it's kind of cool that he tried to bait me even though he really had nothing. Oh yeah, Scorpion mirror match, and you want to try and trade spear? Because normally that's a punish. No, he could just throw up Tremor really quick to switch the phase he's in and block my spear, and he could do that kind of at will. All other cameos, you kind of have to use a move and kind of waste it. No, he could just switch phase and let it get hit. That's crazy to me. Yeah, this whole teleporting in game plan, it's a 50-50. That one came in low, and he did it a little too close so I could kind of see it. I just wasn't prepared for it because I didn't actually know he could do one or the other. I thought it would just be the overhead version. And again, I poked anyways because I kind of just thought he wouldn't do it solely because I could still kind of see Tremor on my screen. But no, so it's a 50-50 overhead low guess, and Tremor can be completely off your screen. So if you thought Kano knives were bad where you just have to hold block, with Tremor you have to guess on which way you're holding block and just say to yourself, good luck. This one really surprised me. So one, I didn't know the Tremor thing went that far, the ground pound. But not only that, notice that the first one hits me, but then it doesn't combo the final two hits. All three hits normally combo if Scorpion is closer to the opponent when he uses that Tremor ground pound. At least raw and neutral like that, I should say. And he didn't get anything off of it, but if it was the normal one where you're closer and all three hit, he would have had no chance for a combo most likely. I would have been pushed too far away.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, right here, he got me in a hard to blockable situation. He timed it really, really well. Is he going to hit the overhead first? Is he going to hit the low first? It takes some time, but in a Combat League set, that is going to destroy you. And any first to two or first to three where you're not used to blocking that, it's like completely a mind game. You don't really know what's going to happen first. So yeah, a kind of hard to blockable 50-50, and I got hit by it, which sucks. Oh yeah, not to mention, if I blocked either one, if I blocked the jump kick, I'm jailed. I need to keep on blocking, and if the low hits me, he's actually plus on block. So it never ends. He continues the pressure even if he doesn't convert a full combo. Right here just shows that you can use the low as a low combo starter, but also this was kind of fake. This was one of the things that it was definitely matchup knowledge. There is a gap in between the 2-1 into him just using that low. You can interrupt it and get your full combo. You have to remember, none of Tremor's moves are ambush moves, but all of them can be ambush moves if you spend the whole cameo gauge. So right there, I just didn't have the matchup knowledge because he hadn't done it yet, and I was so used to it being the ambush version that he was safe on. There was no gap. It's just wild to me that he can keep everything safe of Scorpion, so you get all that chip damage and meter build, but on top of that, when you have the opponent cornered, and there's no gap between forward 3-4 anymore, the mid-mid. So imagine doing the mid-mid into spin just like that, and then he gets free armor. Obviously, it costs the whole cameo gauge, but there's nothing you could do about that. He's getting that armor off, and you're cornered, so now you're just eating tons of pressure. It also seemed extremely plus. It's hard to tell the frame data when it's an ambush type move like that, but it did seem plus to me. I don't know. This just kind of shows the strength of even just putting on armor in neutral. I should have used my armored move, or immediately tried to use Scorpion's dash, which is his armor ability, but it's almost impossible to react with anything normal that combos. Like, I tried to immediately go and jump kick that, and he had the armor off. So it's really strong. And imagine if he went further away.
Round 1. Fight. Fight.
Oh yeah, he can cancel the ground pound. So it's essentially a free throw. He gets a free throw. You just kind of have to eat that, because if you don't, you're getting full comboed. And even then, again, he gets a 50-50 jump-in mix-up while that's happening if he doesn't cancel it. So it's just best to eat the throw. It's free damage. It's essentially, there is no reason you don't block there, because you're getting full 40% comboed. You should make him waste that cameo gauge and just take the 11-12%. This is speaking of the 50-50, so not only is the reset really hard to like tell at what point it's going to be a full 3 set of hits that'll combo, or if it is going to reset, but right here, he got a hard to blockable jump in. I had to guess. Is it going to be overhead or low? And I counted the frames, and he did it at frame 7. So I think there's 5 frames of forgiveness, you know, like if you block one, it'll automatically block the other. So that was true. That was a true 50-50 because he did it in 7 frames, and yeah. So I ended up running 2 extra matches after the first of 5, but I played slightly differently just to see if he'd use anything else. So these are a few clips from that before we get into the more theoretical stuff you can do, but he didn't do in the set. In this one, he gets a sequence where he gets to chip and build meter on the first set of 2-1 into spin, and you're like, oh yeah, you keep that safe. But not only that, then he gets a +4 ambush move and can do it again. I had like, what, 8% health, and it didn't even go that far. Imagine if I had like 12 or 13%, and then gets to build cameo meter back while the round is changing. You know, like he's over a quarter of the way of his cameo Tremor back by the time round 2 has started. Lastly, when you're in the corner, back 2 is Scorpion's like longest knockdown button. It has the most knockdown frames, so putting on armor after back 2 just to end your combo is pretty nutty. It's really, really cool, so he just gets it off kind of for free when he's in the corner. And so that's it from actually playing him. He used a whole bunch of tech, and he had no clue I'm making this video. I didn't ask him to show me any Tremor tech. I literally just sent him an invite on Xbox. I mean, for starters, you get a 30%-ish throw combo? I'm probably spending more bar than I have to, but look at that. That was basically 30, and I didn't even hit the last hit of the combo. Next, if you go for a spear splat just like this instead, you can actually do the reset on frame 1 like that. I just didn't call him in. Much more like this. I'll just do it quick. Just like that. It was a 50-50, I missed the spear throw, but that is like nearly impossible to block. Could you tell me without slow-moing which hit first? You probably can if you were really paying attention, but it's definitely cool to do it after you finish long combos. You can do it on the first hit instead. So he's on screen, you combo off the low sweep, and this is a basic one, but look at the damage. It's not hurting your damage at all to do that, and that low is quick. Same principle applies for the back 3. Low combo starter, and that does even more damage. That was so short, and it did 33%. You could pretty much use any Tremor ability to do cool, like, jump kick teleport combos. That one's ugly, but it does over 30%, and you could use other moves. Next, there's this hard to blockable on back 3. If I just, like, cancel into this, it's a low. See right there, I just comboed off the back 3, so it gets a little tight on how to convert there, but you're probably going to want to figure out how to do it. I'm not too good at it yet, but it is comboable. You could probably throw spear. I've also seen some people that dash up when it's in the corner, so that's an option. Back 3, full screen, full combo. Kind of same principle. You can kind of get this like insane rush down where that's either an overhead or a low right as you meaty the opponent, because you can also go chase them with this low projectile, so it's pretty cool. It's just harder to time. Again, Tremor is all about learning, but yeah, you get a rush down mix up where you can approach for free, and I feel like there's a billion things I could tell you about this character, so what I want to do is is if you're curious about, like, say, all the different combo combinations and all the different reset combinations, I'm gonna link a video by HorrorFiend TX in the description below. It's called The Book of Tremor, and it has just about every setup and all the set play you could possibly imagine with Tremor, and that way you kind of have the optimals of everything, because he is a Scorpion Tremor main. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that below. There is so much more, at least for different ways you could do these things, I could cover, but this video would go on forever. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time.